Another week. You guys, the city of Moreno Valley, we are under siege.
Uh-oh.
It's a murder rap as you're hearing it. I'm telling you, it gets, just when you think that you're out of the game, they pull me back in. All right, this is Donovan Sadiq and my partner in crime, Demetra K, who has been earning that heat, and her numbers just keep going up. The analytics, people are just, why do people want to call in or message you just to argue? Does that make any sense?
No.
But they're doing it. But, the good thing about it is that goes to show you that you got people thinking.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So...
Drop something on their minds.
Drop something on their minds. So we're going to talk about updates. For those of you guys that have been listening and watching, we're doing a lot of great things in the Inland Empire, which I call the Warehouse Empire. Of course, we know that the EIR by the Highland Fairview, the Edowitz, and the Goon Squad, this is a big group of people that the developers hires to do his dirty work. And they have to go back and redo the EIR. And Dee, you were there Saturday, and some of these guys I know, some of these guys, I don't have a problem with them because once again, I and other people like me were proven right in the fact that if you're going to do something, do it right the first time,
right, and
then we don't have to worry about it and stuff like that. Could you please tell us what transpired Saturday, just in your...
Well, Saturday, as we had mentioned before, you forgot the lights.
Right.
Yeah, you got to put the spotlights on the
Sorry.
We're stars. You
I'm
can't
sorry.
rob us of the lighting.
I'm working on getting an intern. I got to get an intern.
Is it a paid position? Because I can do both.
No. Because what's that saying? It looks good on your resume.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But anyway, as you alluded to, there was this event that was held by Mayor Pro Tem Victoria Baca. I guess she was trying to have a meet and greet with the constituents, I'm assuming. Well, maybe some constituents from what we saw rather. And she was just, I don't even know what she was talking about. She was saying something about a library and, Moreno Valley is not as bad as people are saying that it is. Don't believe the hype. And I don't know, I think she spoke about 5 minutes or so. And the whole time I was there, I was thinking, well, she probably could have just made a little video and put it on her page or sent everybody an email with those talking points. It was, I don't know. And then, of course, when you try to ask her a question.
A legitimate question.
She didn't, as we look back on the video, she didn't totally snub you.
Yeah, because she said my name. Thank you, Mr. Sadiq.
She said, thank you, Mr. Sadiq.
Mm-hmm.
As if, like, get the F out of my face.
No, but obviously she knew who I was.
Oh, yeah, she knew. Come on.
And
she knows who you are.
And as you know, and you heard that the Edowitz and the Highland Fairview people do watch our shows.
Yeah, they said that they do. They do.
To see what's going on.
That's why we got to put the lights on. So
so you can see us and stuff like that. And like I said, I have an intern position if anybody's interested, if you want to come out. But again, why we were called there, everything that you needed to know about what the city is doing, all you got to do is go to the city council meeting or download the website, and it will tell you everything you need to know. If you're going to call a district meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm going to do a district meeting, shouldn't the subject be about the district and only the district?
The district and what you are doing or what you have done for the district. Absolutely.
Have you noticed that? Remember when bank robber LaDonna Jemison got on the seat, and it's like these people get into these positions, and it just goes to their head.
It is a power trip for a lot of people, especially if you're already that type of person who is ego driven. It is a power trip, to be sitting on the dais and you're looking out amongst your constituents, and you're like, wow, I have all this power. I can say yay or nay to this or that and affect people's lives positively or negatively, all in the same time. I'm more than likely enriching myself.
Of course.
So yeah, it's a power trip.
But locally, let me just ask you, okay, all the work that I did to help LaDonna Jemison, and because she didn't know what the hell she was doing, look at how quickly all that got reversed, all because of her ego.
Right.
So all this work that she claims that she did was for naught. I mean, is there a cautionary tale you would need to tell somebody?
I would just say, especially if you are seeking political office, you should definitely go in there with the intentions of helping the people. Because that's what you're there for. That's why you were hired / voted in, is to help the people. I think we would be foolish as constituents or voters or whoever to think that politicians get in there and they're not going to enrich themselves.
Right.
Okay, great. However, do both. Enrich yourself and help the people. Because you're going to have to answer questions as to, okay, in the case of someone like Maxine Waters, how did you go to Congress on a $65,000 salary?
At the time, when she first got in there, the average congressional salary was about $68,000.
So, and then now you're worth millions.
$68 million.
$68 million. How did you do that? And, a lot of people say, well, she hasn't really done much for her district. And some people says that she has. But have you done as much for the district as you have enriched yourself?
Well, here's my question with that, and that's a good question in regards to Auntie Maxine. The woman looks like a walking skeleton, mummy. She looks like a walking mummy with a crooked wig.
She is up there in age.
Yeah, but you can't really say you're doing for the district because the very people that voted you in there initially are all gone. And they're not gone by their own volition. They're gone because of gentrification.
Oh, yeah.
So that tells you a lot right there.
Right. So what are you doing to save your district
and she's doing
from being reshaped into something else? And to that point, you would think she will want to stop the gentrification, because if you get people who are not like you in there, they're not going to vote for you.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, get this black woman up out of here.
Yeah, isn't that what Chevron Cheryl Brown said?
Yeah, well.
And she's gone now.
Well, I mean, she's gone because she enriched herself.
$3 million.
And for what I understand, she left her district hanging. So, I mean, people are going to get tired of that. People are tired of voting for people, and it should be, voting for people who are not going to help them.
Right.
You're just going to come and get lip service.
We just vote.
Yeah, we just vote just because. And it's funny because a friend of mine on Facebook, he posted what Byron Allen said about Obama a couple years back.
No, I think that was me. Didn't I post that?
You posted that, but another friend posted it today. Basically, Byron Allen called Obama a black man, a white man, and blackface. Basically saying that Obama didn't do anything specifically for black people.
And that's true.
And oh my God, it was like people got on this post, black people. Oh, yes, he did. Obama was a good president. Somebody who I've been friends with a very long time said, oh, well, Obama gave me hope as a black man. I said, did you really need another man to give you hope?
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
He said he paved the way. I said, paved the way for what?
For what?
It was crickets. I was like, but that is the mindset of a lot of us in the black community. And I also went on to say that we get hooked onto symbolism. Obama was the first black president. Okay, we can go home now. We've been vindicated from all the things we've been through in America. So, we're done now. It's like, okay, he's the first black president. Great. Get to work for doing some stuff for black people.
Right.
But in regards to your girl Victoria Baca, I mean, she's regarded the same way. You got constituents who will just vote for her on lip service. We've done this and we've done that and we've done this and we've done that,
and that's fine.
Right.
But when you're doing the district thing, we don't want to hear we want to hear about you. Now,
Right.
let me ask you, because you don't live in the district. Was that a fair question? Was that like something that was? How dare you ask that question?
To me, it was a very layman question.
Right.
Very layman.
Because if you've done something,
easy.
anybody that asks you can answer that.
Right. That's like me going to my doctor and saying, okay, so what do you do? Well, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
I do this and I do that, and I've performed 20,000
I'm an
heart
orthopedic
surgeries.
special. Right.
Yeah, all of that. What else you want to know?
And anybody should be able to answer that question,
Right.
especially if you're running for office, which is what we say. Vet these candidates.
You know what? I'm not going to say this to Victoria Baca. If she was smart, I'm not saying she's not smart.
She isn't smart.
Because I don't know
I'm going to say it. The bitch is dumb. Period.
The opinions of that co-host are not necessarily the opinions of this host.
The bitch is dumb.
I don't personally know her, so I don't know her to be dumb or not to be dumb.
Okay, well, wait, before you get started, I'm going to clarify why I say that. Because,
Please
number
do.
one, I'm probably the third or fourth, fifth longest serving person in the district. So, number one, you know that, I have cred because I've lived there in this district longer than anybody, much less her.
I'm not saying you
Number
don't.
Number two, you're holding an event right across the street from my house.
Like, right, we could have walked over there in less than 5 minutes.
Right. So, knowing that, and she ain't ignorant, she's just dumb, you know where I live because you looked it up.
Yeah, she knew you was going to watch
Exactly.
ass right on over there.
That shows you how dumb she is. And so,
Okay, well,
so go ahead.
If, I would say if I was Victoria Baca, or any politician for that matter, why not just have a little pamphlet of your accomplishments while you're handing out orange juice and stuff? Hand out a little pamphlet of the things that you have personally done for your district, and that way, because that would have shut you up.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, she's done this, she's done that, or she's done this. Okay.
That wouldn't have shut me up. I would have never asked the question.
Well, that's what I meant.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Exactly.
You would have. Now, maybe you would have taken issue with something that she listed, but she would not have given you the opportunity to ask her that. And then to me, it was a fumble on her behalf because obviously she couldn't answer that question.
And to try to cut me off. I mean, she's on video. And number two, now you're a political guru, and
I just dabble.
You dabble.
To me,
a
it's
bit.
common sense.
Yeah. But when you see your client the one thing that they told me in political science in college is you don't run away from the issue, especially when you're on camera.
You don't do it. You face it. You
face
say,
it.
I don't know.
Right.
Let me get back to you. That's a good question. See, I'm giving away the game now.
Right, you're giving away the game.
But
the last time we were at an event, what happened to us when we were there? She threw us out. Or threw me out. She didn't throw you out. She threw me out. You don't throw your opponent out. As a matter of fact, you put him on the front row.
You were her constituent.
Right, because I wasn't the opponent. The opponent it's a recall. The opponent are the people.
The people, you were her constituent. Yeah, she flat out. Not only did she deny you access, she sent out, I haven't seen this lady around her in a while. I guess it was her campaign manager at the time. I don't remember her name. But she came over to us as we were sitting there. They said we were drinking alcohol. We were drinking soda.
But you can say whatever you like.
Whatever, we grown. If we were sitting up with a fifth of Hennessy, we could do that. And she came over to us and said to Donovan, well, if you're here to start trouble, we're going to need you to leave. And
and we know the manager. We're going to throw you
We're
out.
going to have you thrown out. And, she feels threatened by you. And that's when I said, wait, hold on a second. Why does she feel threatened? What has he done to make her feel threatened? I said, do you know what you're saying? Do you know the ramifications of it? Do you really know what you're saying?
No, she does know what she's saying because everybody knows Victoria Baca is the leader of the local Hispanic hate group known as the Mexican Association, which is a dextrament to MAPA, which is a very Mexican-American association thing, which is very prestigious.
Even with all of that to say, and this is I'm going to give, for those who are interested, a little history.
Give them the game.
Whenever you say to a black man who is obviously and clearly not a threat, that he is a threat, that is based out of racism and that saying, I fear for you. Just on the premise that you're a black man because you weren't doing anything to her. Right. You dressed in a suit. Right. We were both sitting there like we had some sense. We weren't belligerent or we didn't try to, bust in there. We were sitting there like anybody else. It's the same thing, which I almost said that to the individual. I won't say his name that we are talking to Saturday, but that's the same way he came at you in regards to saying, well, it was how you approached her. And that's why I have to back him up a little bit. How did he approach her? Right. What did he say to her that was wrong? What was wrong with his delivery that the white man, moments before he spoke, Roy said the same, not the same thing, but in the same tone. So see, a lot of times people, they don't understand how innate they are with, I don't want to say racism, but just, being prejudiced. Yeah. I don't think he knew what he was exactly saying to you consciously, but subconsciously what he was saying is you as a black man should not be talking to her like that. Know your place, man.
But the thing is, in the digital age where everybody has cameras and cell phones, if you are in public and you are representing anything, that was not a very good light on her. It didn't reflect on me because everybody knows what I do. I'm the Inland Empire
Reformer. To me, it's public speaking one-on-one, especially when you are in politics. You would be a fool, not calling her one. I know that you will.
You're a damn fool.
You would be a fool to at least not address the question in some way, shape, or form other than a snub. Thank you, Mr. Sadiq.
Right.
That was a snub.
Mm-hmm.
How you'll be a fool to think that everybody who comes out to see you is going to be favorable of you. I don't care. I mean, whether it was Barack Obama, mm-hmm. Clinton, all Abraham Lincoln, hell, mm-hmm. he got shot. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody is not going to agree with your policies or any of that kind of stuff. Right. Just answer the question.
Just answer the question, and you know, don't get it twisted. You guys have seen the video. As a matter of fact, let's give you guys a clip of the video, and you guys take a look. And I'm going to show you the last end of it. The people that you're going to see in this video, just take a look at it real quick. So that's the video, and what Victoria Baca is not going to tell you is out of what I think there was 28 people there, maybe a little under 30 people.
Yeah,
okay. Out of the 28 people that were there, I think maybe only 3 of us were in the district. Now, I'm going to include Roy and his dad because they're old timers, even though they don't live in the district anymore.
Oh, they don't?
No. Most of the people.
So then why are they going to bat for her all the time? Aren't they in their own district? Ah.
Here.
Okay, got you.
I need you to keep doing this. And
you want me to say what
yes,
now? Oh,
exactly,
I got you.
They're on the payroll.
If Mr. Sadiq shows up, I'm going to be your bulldog?
Right. So most of the people there were Highland Fairview employees.
I didn't notice that.
And the venue started 45 minutes late. So, you know, there is a problem with colored people in town. And I don't care if you're black or brown, you know, and so-called yellow. We have a problem with time.
Well, maybe she was waiting for more people to show up because at 10 o'clock it was like, you know, a handful of people there.
And again, if you're gonna do a venue and you want to avoid me, don't do a venue in front of my house.
Honestly, you know what I think? I think she was a little nervous probably that you were there. Because I think I sensed that there was some hesitation from her regarding starting. It's almost like she was hesitating. I mean, she had the paper in her hand the whole time, so it's not like she was waiting on some information.
Like I said, I shouldn't be a threat. I'm not a candidate. I'm not running. But I'm going to tell you this. Any candidate that's watching it, and I know people say they don't watch it, but they do. When you have video there, that was not a good light looking on her to do what she did, especially as a constituent. If you like me or not, I'm a constituent.
Did you see the interview? What's the Cuomo on at CNN? I can't remember because there's a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
He did the interview with with Scaramucci.
Oh yeah,
the former communication director, or whatever.
Scaramucci, the mooch.
So he asked the Cuomo guy Scaramucci, whatever his name is.
Just call him the mooch.
About businesses. You know, he was basically saying that Trump was a businessman and
how?
And then so that's what he was asking too. He said, well, he's had a lot of failed businesses and this, that, and the other. So Scaramucci, the
guy's been a failure his whole.
He was like, well, you know, that's part of business. That's part of a startup organization. And so Cuomo was like, wait a second. The White House is a startup organization. Yeah. But the point that I'm bringing that up is at least the dude didn't let dead air. It was a bullshit answer, but at least he answered the question.
Right. And
when I heard that, I said, did he call the White House a startup organization?
Right. So, you know, even on the local level, you have to be very cognizant of your image and how you're perceived. And there was nobody, when I asked the question, what did I say wrong or whatever, nobody disagreed that what I said was wrong, because I could have really thrown some bombs on her, but I just said specifically, just like I said when LaDonna was in office, what have you done? Don't take my credit. What have you done?
And I'm going to say this just because I am in public relations, and I'm very good at what I do.
Absolutely.
I think it's very important, especially if you are in the public sector, to hire somebody to help you with public speaking. Hire somebody that, you know, help you in interviewing or fielding questions from your audience. Hire somebody to make you look good. Because if I was on her team, I would be like, absolutely not. Do not ever snub anybody, because you might not like Donovan Sadiq, but there's a whole lot of people who do like him, and there's a whole lot of people who follow him and will feel a certain type of way about you snubbing him.
And they're going to talk about it with their friends and other people because of your attitude.
Exactly. And I think this would be a mistake for people to say that you don't have any influence in the district, because you do. Not even just in the district, but in the city overall. So I would, if I was her, I wouldn't have risked doing that to you, because she doesn't know how many other people she's risking seeing that votes. And saying, wow.
And she knows she can't win an outright election without splitting the vote, but it could be the difference between 50 votes and whatever. like I said, you don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. I mean, you don't see me going to Roy's house on weekends and stuff.
Right.
But I do respect his opinion. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. And that's why I can talk to anybody on the other side. But, when you're talking that bullshit, just know, Edoites, you're not going to change my mind. And I've said this all the time. If you want me out of local politics, catch my district up to where it's supposed to be. And Victoria Baca is not. Yeah, write me a nice little check.
Some zeros.
Yeah, $5 million. And matter of fact, I'll leave the city at that point. But we wanted to just bring that up. Like I said, you guys saw the video for yourself. It wasn't a got you question. I asked the same question of LaDonna Jensen. And I'm going to ask the same question of any politician that is running. What are your specific ideas?
Right.
What are you going to bring to this district?
Absolutely.
Why should we vote for you? She did not once address the recall and why she should not, we should not, be for the recall. Because remember in the video, if you saw the video, Roy's dad said, this is what she's done for me. And what did I say? That's great. We want to hear that.
Okay, but how, own partner?
Okay.
How she do something for you and you don't even live in the district?
Well, his property. He owns property in the district. So.
Okay.
And I think he was talking about back in the day before he moved or something. I don't know. But
we talking about now, Roy.
Right. But what I'm saying is, though, that's what we wanted to hear. What have you specifically done in the district? Now, if you think that was an unfair question, you need to get the fuck out of politics and get the fuck out of this city. Now, moving on. And thank you guys that support me. Sometimes you got to speak very, very blunt and get your point out. Shira Wright, she is the wife that was indicted and extradited back to Memphis in the murder of her ex-husband, Lorenzen Wright, former Clipper, Memphis Grizzly, Cavalier, and Atlanta Hawk. This guy had I believe, a 12-year NBA career, made over $55 million during that time, which is, he was a good player, but he was a state hero.
So
in Tennessee.
What did he do with did his estate still have most of the $55 million?
No. He like most people, he had a wife that had a spending problem, which ended up in his death. Dang. And of course made some bad investments. And he was one of those guys. It's typical. The minute you make it, here comes the vampires and the vultures. I need my lights. I need this. And and he was a giving guy.
I'm gonna need a new house.
Yes. And she and her co-defendant Turner showed up at court, I believe, a couple of days ago, and they reinstated their plea. They will be going back to court on April 29th as they're working out different aspects of discovery. If you guys don't know what discovery is, that's when the facts have to come out. What does the defendant got versus the prosecutor, and they've got to exchange stuff so they can strategize a strategy to move forward. The good thing for her, and God bless her children, and like I said, this is a tragedy on all sides. They have taken the death penalty off of the books. And I just have a problem with that for the simple fact that whenever a woman does a heinous crime, almost as bad as a man, she gets life, he gets death.
Yeah, I just think overall people have a hard time with a woman. I think this stems back from the day of when women, when they used the gallows to hang people. Yeah. I just think people had a hard time seeing a woman swinging by the neck, per se.
But if she killed people and
stuff,
I
agree, but I'm saying, depending on where you stand with the death penalty or whatever the case is.
Remember the movie Monster? I mean, they put that white woman to death, and that woman had a hard luck life from the time she was a little girl.
Yeah, they was like, but she was rolling around killing people.
But white men, affluent white men.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But, I really felt bad for her. And I didn't just watch the movie. I went and got her documentary and started seeing her. Yeah. This woman was treated like trash her whole life. Her whole
life, yeah.
If anything, I don't understand.
But then some people will argue, but does that give you the right to take life?
No, it doesn't.
Right.
But my point is this. We can't bring those people back. Most civilized countries don't have the death penalty.
Right. Well, I'm against the death penalty.
Yeah, I'm against it too. I'm
against the death penalty, especially for black and brown people, because we know disproportionately they get accused of stuff they didn't do, and we're put to death quickly. Right. So that's why I'm against it.
I'm particularly against the death penalty because I have animals, so I'm against the death penalty.
But what if the person who was acting in an animalistic way
killed my dog
or killed anybody?
No, I don't care about people. Killed my dog?
Oh, then they need
to die. They need to die right now. Matter of fact, put them against the wall and shoot them. If anything happened to Tylen, oh my God. You saw it was a basket case when he was missing?
I know, right? I was like, ooh, is he going to make it?
So anyway, that's been taken off the table. And I know people are going to say, I don't care if she gets, either way it goes, even if she gets a guilty verdict, she better damn be glad and sure that she's going to live out her life, because you can't bring Lorenzen back. He's never going to come back to his family. You deprived your children of their father, and good luck to you.
So how soon are they before they go to trial?
We're going to find out the 29th, because the 29th is when they're going to see if everybody's ready.
Right.
Set a trial readiness date and stuff like that. And this was the first time you can YouTube it. I'll put a clip up right now. You can take a look at it. That they both are together as co-defendant, and that's another issue that's going to come up. She also asked for a bond,
like, girl, you ain't
which
getting out
I don't
here.
think that's going to happen. But in America, you are entitled to bond.
She's asking for bond because obviously, she's asking, I think, because obviously she knows she can make it. She can make bond. She ain't asking if she, and more than likely it's going to be something like $1 million or which I'm sure she got somebody who will put it up for her.
Right, and I know, like I said, if you listen to Pastor Thaddeus Matthews, she has that magical tongue while she's in there, that freaky tongue.
That's so nasty.
But in this country, you are afforded these things. You can't deny a person that. They can't ask for bond. Doesn't mean they're going to get it.
I don't think she'll get it. I don't think she'll get it.
I mean, if it's put high enough.
She didn't already ran before.
Right.
They had to, go get her, find her, and then brought her. Yeah, I don't.
Well, we could always ask LaDonna Jemson's the in and out.
You know what?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, she has experience with the legal system in situations like that. I mean, like I said, I know that we're trying to be funny or whatever, but no, that's a serious thing. She's in our community, and what do I say about LaDonna Jemson? Just because she fooled and hid and deceived the electorate does not mean her voice has no validity to it. She has a validity to it, but unfortunately, her ego got the best of her, and we are where we're at today. So, a cautionary tale. So that's going to go on with that. The UCLA Bruin girls gymnastics team won the Pac-12 championship. It's really good. And if you guys have been looking at the Inland Empire Informer on Twitter and on Google+, I put up a lot of articles, even on Facebook. I put up a lot of articles of what's going on locally and stuff. Our marijuana dispensary situation is a thing people need to look at. Me and Dee are definitely going to look at it because we're investors in marijuana things.
Keep on rising.
Keep on rising to the top. Keep on smoking. You know what I mean? Keep on smoking.
We don't indulge, but by all means.
Yeah, by all means, you want to do that. Our roving reporter, Deanna, she's back up in school.
Back at school.
I got a very, very good message from somebody who said that they really enjoyed her commentary and her intelligence. And I said, well, a lot of that comes from the family she comes from. So
I will definitely pass that on. You know what she's going to say?
What?
I know. I'm just playing.
Another thing for those guys that want some entertainment, want some insight, there is a show on Facebook. Go to Walter. What's Walter's middle name?
Walter Lee.
Walter Lee Culture. I think that's
like a raisin in the sun. Yeah.
Walter Lee.
Walter Lee
Culture. And he talks a lot of good stuff, and he's a financial management guru. I shared his link on a lot of my pages last night, so I hope that kind of had people looking at it and stuff like that. And you will see, we're trying to get her off the show because,
because
especially
for that subject that, I don't know if you saw to the end, the subject he talked about, oh my God. Yeah. Al was like, he said, has your brother...
taking his meds?
He said, I thought I was making jokes.
Right.
He said, but with your last statement your brother said, was that a joke? I'm almost ashamed to repeat this mess.
Right. Well, let's hear it. What was the joke?
It's not even a joke. He was serious.
Okay.
This dude, next month in April, wants to do a series of, it's going to be called Let's Give White People a Break Month.
I think he's serious. I said,
I won't be sitting on that one.
Right.
Because I said, you ain't going to allow me to speak what I need to say.
Yes. We have to, matter of fact, we have to muzzle D and put her in another room.
Or
have her go to Ontario Mills for an hour or two.
I said, you really don't want this from me. Okay.
But you can catch us. I'm going to be guesting on the show as well, and just sometimes sitting there and trying to keep my composure.
Yeah, maybe you can guest on that show.
Guest on the show. So check us out, as we go. And and the thing is, since I'm going that way, I'll pick you up when we have to go up there.
Okay,
So that way
yeah,
you can
pick
leave
me
the
up
car.
so I can sit in the
Yeah,
back.
you can sit in the back and
And I
direct. Yeah, you can direct and do all
Yeah, he's
that
supposed to have
stuff.
somebody. One of his white friends are gonna come on, and
Okay.
yeah, and they're gonna
Yeah, I
chop
want
it
you
up.
to direct. I want you to direct on that.
I ain't gonna be able to sit
Be
down
able to
on
sit
that
down
one.
on it. But you know, we get invited to a lot of these things, and again, here's another platform that we are just chopping it up and just having people. We want you guys to stop being the Walking Dead and start thinking about
Wake that
things
ass up.
that you never thought about.
Right.
The South African thing. White people are still upset over there. They are still working the things out. Your boy that you like over there,
Julius
Molina, he says that he is ready to start the countdown.
The final countdown.
I used to love that song. But you know,
but they should have it in South Africa.
Yeah.
The final countdown.
Right. We do these things to have you think about, because you're not going to get it on the local news here unless you go to BBC or Al Jazeera, and you know we're just brain dead here. Like right now, everybody's talking about the census thing that the Trump administration wants to do, which could disproportionately mess with our representation here in California. Not that I care Democrat or Republican, but I'm just saying, why would you ask if I'm a legal citizen or not in a census? The Constitution specifically says a census must be done every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
And it's going to be proportionate to your representation in Congress.
Right.
Has nothing to do with your citizenship.
Because they're like, listen, California is blue, true blue.
Right.
We need to swing that state red.
Mm-hmm. And let's say we have 55 congressional districts in California. I'm throwing a number out there.
I think you're right, though.
Right, okay. Now, you put what are you a citizen of the United States on the census, we just went from 55 to 38.
Shit, to 15, what
right.
you talking about?
Exactly. So these are important things that affect you. Basketball's not going to affect you. You're not getting the night contract. You're not getting a big contract. You should know what's going on in your local environment, in your local government.
Right.
And that's why we do these shows and we do these different things. And if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome. Most likely you won't. But again,
the invitation is always
open. And this goes out to all the candidates. And again, I want to thank Shaylinda Bernard. As you know, she is pregnant.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And
okay.
her and her husband are expecting a little baby. And like the strong, independent black woman she is, her candidacy is going to go forward. Now, I'm not saying...
You know what?
No, we talk. I'm not saying she's going to be out there during that time walking, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of leadership we need. Hey, she ain't letting a pregnancy stop her, but I do, as a father and your mother, the baby comes first.
Absolutely.
Please take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
I know she's young and strong, but let's keep it real. Congratulations. I'm happy for you guys. If it's a boy, Donovan is a great name. It means brown warrior, dark stranger, and one who speaks in truth.
All right now.
So
go ahead.
You know what I mean? So, we're going to be here for it, and she's a great candidate in that district. Haven't heard a lot from Carla Thornton. I will be contacting her and seeing if she wants to come on the show and sit in the hot seat and, and get grilled and so we can see.
Can I just make a prediction?
Make a prediction.
I'm sorry, y'all. They ain't coming. They're not coming.
Okay. Here's the thing. And
none of them.
No, and you're probably, no, Shalinda will come.
She might come.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And I think that they need to understand this. In the politics, you got to understand your environment that you operate in. If people do not see you it's almost impossible to meet everybody. And most of the people that are politically active, because we know Highland Fairview listens to this show and watches the show, why are they doing that?
Intel.
They want to get the intels. But there's a lot of people who can't make it to the events because of their scheduling. You want to get as much exposure as you can get and how you can get it.
I would just say this to especially black people. If you're watching this, and I almost feel like I'm going to be wasting my breath because as you were campaigning the last two times, I actually got a chance to see and hear some of the African Americans, I'm being really technical now, African American people in Moreno Valley who are just like, they were like, more Kool-Aid, please. More Kool-Aid. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't know if any of you guys will watch The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Y'all allow these politicians to tell y'all anything. And I heard a lot of people sold out their vote for some tri-tip sandwiches.
Tri-tip sandwiches and a turkey.
And a turkey.
And in 2 years past, he didn't give out no turkeys. Now there's another thing coming up. He gives out turkeys. Did you ever wonder why, didn't we meet a black pastor why would a black pastor want to be at an event with a known Hispanic racist?
Do you really need to? It's a rhetorical question,
right? No,
okay.
I know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he got a little, donation in the bucket.
Mm-hmm. And the 3 or 4 black people that were there, do they realize that they're standing? Have you ever seen the movie The Toy?
I have.
Remember that part where he went to the party toward the end of the movie?
Yeah.
And they're like, do you know who you're standing next to?
Right.
The Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And all hell broke loose when the guy's like, oh no, I don't want to be seen. You don't want no pictures with this person.
Right.
Why would they do that? Like you said, because they're getting a donation.
They're getting a donation.
They don't know what they're doing.
And I don't know who those people were, but like you said, the pastor did come up to us. Those people probably have influence over the rest of the black community. And so I'm sure he's got a church somewhere. When the election time comes, pretty sure he's going to, throw Victoria Baca's name out there for his congregation.
Well, remember Sherman Jones. Where has he been since then? Whereas the one we used to hang out, and I told him to stay out of politics until I came down.
Owens.
Pastor Owens. He was getting a check. These pastors, to me, and this is me speaking, not but prostitutes themselves.
Absolutely. Listen. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go on record, and y'all can come right here and sit right here next time if y'all want to argue about this. A lot of those black pastors, and a lot of the pastors in general, I'm gonna say black pastors and white pastors.
Other than Pastor Don, he's legit.
The black pastors and the white pastors. I'm gonna say the white pastors, especially y'all out there, rooting for Trump and the nonsense that he does and says to people. And the black pastors, you guys aren't really trying to help the black community. If you were, you would be out there first on the scene, in the neighborhoods, walking and knocking on doors and saying, how can I help you? Bringing young men over here. We have a mentoring program. And I'm not saying that you don't overall, but we should know about those things. You remember back in the day when churches were really what they used to be?
Right.
You were a single mom or whatever, your boys can go to church and the pastor was really going to mentor them and, sow into them what he knew. But nowadays, like you said, a lot of these pastors are just taking a check. What do you want me to say to him now? Okay, I'll tell him this Sunday.
Of
Is
course,
this gonna clear?
Yeah, exactly. Make that out the cash. Don't even make it out to the church.
My car payment, my Bentley payment is
exactly
coming due.
Everybody knows I do a show with Pastor Don, and like I said, and some people might have issues with Pastor Don or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, his heart is in the right place.
I don't have any issues with
No. I'm saying people that other than me. His heart's in the right place. I wouldn't do the show. And you know me, I don't hang with unethical people, in my opinion.
Well, no, I think at the end of the day, I don't practice Christianity, nor do I go to church. But people who do, I think it's important that they get the word, because too often people sit in church and don't have a clue as to why they're there. They just watch the pastor and the choir hop up and down for an hour and a half. Getting that feel good
moment.
And then, I'm not gonna say the person I had the conversation with. This past Sunday, I asked somebody who goes to church 2 or 3 times a week. I said, what was the sermon about?
I don't know.
Exactly what he said. And then somebody who was with him was like, the sermon was about Palm Sunday. I said, because ain't that what today is?
Palm Sunday, right.
He goes, yeah.
When Jesus entered Jerusalem.
But it's like, why do you go? You couldn't even tell me what the sermon was about.
It's ritual. You just go there as a ritual and it gets watered down. So,
right.
and I'm going to say for me, in my studies and stuff, the only pastor that I know of that is taking care of his congregation and minding his own business and handling his business is Sykes. Because even when he did divulge into the political world, he said, I have nothing to do with this, but a lot of my people...
This is the first time I'll be a backslider.
Right. No, he wasn't a backslider. He just said...
I'm backsliding my ass.
Okay, right. But, he put on a platform that was very neutral because a lot of his congregation...
No, I'm saying when a certain person put him out there with a couple other black pastors, they support me. And,
yeah.
He was like, the devil is a lie.
Right, exactly.
I rebuke it.
Right, yeah, and everybody knows if you're a pastor out there, and I'm going to find out if you got a 503c, which I'm most likely you do, and if you get involved in politics, I will do everything in my power to bring that to the IRS's attention.
As you should.
As I should, so. And, of course... I'm going to say this before we go into the next segment, and this is very important. I'm going to be very serious about this. The key to the election this year is winning these seats, and all of these seats are winnable, okay? It's all about getting the right candidates that are going to do the right thing. Now, I have once again been asked about a Denise Fleming. Let me go on record one more time for the 100th time. Denise Fleming is highly qualified to be a mayor somewhere. She has the education, she has the background. I've said that several times. I'm never going to take that away from anybody that is qualified. Does Victoria Baca have it? No, she's not qualified. Jeffrey Gaiba, ethical issues, a good friend of mine, he's not qualified. But you got to call it the way it is. What's our other friend?
So then what's the issue?
Wait. I'm getting it. What's our other friend? He gets his things from rumors.
Marquez.
Dave Marquez, good friend of mine, not qualified. Great guy. But you don't have to be qualified, obviously, to be...
I get my information from rumors.
Right. To be a council person. Now, in regards to Miss Fleming, I have proven every time she has ran that she is an unethical person. And the problem that me and Miss Fleming have is a personal problem. I am willing to meet with anybody at any time, but it's not going to change my mind and my situation. If we want to win that mayoral seat, number one, in my opinion, you need to run another candidate other than Denise Fleming because she comes with a lot of baggage. If you will run Denise Fleming, I will do everything in my power to expose her unethical behavior. She has no interest in Moreno Valley. She is no different than a Victoria Baca, and I'm on record saying this. I've proven it time and time again. Why is she unethical? What person is going to go through our schools using her position as a school board member and distribute her campaign stuff when other candidates can't do that? That's unethical. So please stop emailing me and asking me, will I work with her? I will work with anybody, but she knows as well as I know, until I get an apology and, whatever else, I'm not working with her. Can I move forward if that does happen? Absolutely I can. So if you're serious about this election and that's what you want to do and running her, hey, those are my terms. And I think those are reasonable terms. Simple as that. What do you think?
I agree. I think if a person is problematic, and I was just looking at see the comments on YouTube, and somebody was giving a thumbs up and stuff. Okay. I think if a person is problematic, listen, I think we'll be a fool to say that there's a such thing as a perfect candidate. Right. Everybody has a flaw somewhere.
LaDonna Jimson.
Some flaws like, okay, you did it, probably shouldn't have did it, okay, but whatever. But if a person is having an issue of ethics and they're not truly going to serve the people, right, then I agree with you. They should not be running. Because in essence, they just become a part of the problem. And the same old people getting elected to positions, making a lot of money, or whatever the case is, and they're not really helping people.
Right, and I'd rather deal with the devil I know versus the devil I really don't know.
Amen, brother.
So that's my stance on that. And again, if you are connected to the Democratic Party of Moreno Valley, which is run by raving heirs and stuff, I'm going to expose that as well. The problem in this city is you've got two factions of friends that want this power and jostling for the power, but nothing gets done for the people. And that's the problem. It's like we were talking to some Highland Fairview people. If they start building civic centers in here and things for the community, Highland Fairview ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah, instead of warehouses, it's like, okay, right, enough already.
Right. And again, the EIR wasn't done correctly. I don't have a problem with Highland Fairview other than with the location of where they put it and that EIR wasn't done correctly. I have a right to know if I'm going to be able to breathe here.
Yeah, I mean, why?
So that's my issue. I am not part of any recalls. I won't be part of any recalls. I wasn't the first time. So
let me ask you this: do you even care who gets on the seat?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's the same person every time. Because when you have an opportunity to have a good candidate and new blood like Shaylinda Bernard and some other people, we find out that we've got another Denise Fleming or another Victoria Baca in the end. So that's our segment, this section. You guys check out Demetra Culture K.
Yeah, you gave my whole government name.
Demetra K on Sunday. I was so upset. Yeah. On Sundays at 3 p.m., she's talking the real. If you guys want to chime in and just tell her to go to hell, you can do that.
Very careful, though, because I tell you to go out right before you go.
She answers all questions. But we're going to be back in the second hour, and Dee's going to lead us off with that. You guys have a great day.
Peace.
That's all you.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this segment of To the Hard Way with myself, Demetra K, and the infamous Donovan throwing rocks and high in his hand, Sadiq. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As you guys know, the murderers, and I'm going to call them what they are, of Alton Sterling will not be brought up on charges. The general attorney of Louisiana basically said that they were justified in what they did to him. Okay, so what did they do to Alton Sterling? He was standing outside the liquor store selling CDs. This homeless man called the police saying that Alton threatened him, told him to get away from him, and threatened him with a gun. So the police came pretty much from the moment they approached him, tried to put him under arrest and all sort of stuff, and then some struggle ensued. And they ended up, somebody hollered that he had a gun, and they ended up shooting him in his chest, causing his death. All right, and so was it 2 years later, I think it is, or maybe about 2 years later, they were just deemed justified in what they did. Okay, and so as we know, it was like a week or so ago, another young man was murdered in Sacramento by the Sacramento PD, shot 20 times in his grandmother's backyard. Again, we talked about this before, but they thought he had a gun. Then they thought he had a crowbar. Ultimately, it was an iPhone. Shot this little boy. Well, to me, he's a little boy, but he's 20. 20 times. Or I think it's 23 or something like that. 20 times.
Why do they need to shoot a person 20 times and shoot to kill?
Shoot to kill, and didn't even administer him any aid or nothing for 5 minutes, asking him, "Are you okay? Have you been hit?"
Right, and you're not sure if he's got a weapon or not. You saw the body cam; they're hiding on the side of the building.
Right, just blasting. It could have been all kids back. It could have been anybody back there. I just don't understand that. And why can't you maim the guy in the leg or something? Well, because
he's black.
Anytime they see a black man, it's probably more than likely we're gonna shoot to kill, and that's not an exaggeration. Mm-hmm. We've heard that before out of the mouths of police officers saying, as they're pursuing somebody, I'm going to kill him. Mm-hmm. I'm going to kill, so they've said that is what's in their minds when they see black people.
That's part of their training.
Right. And so, on my timeline, I'm seeing people upset, people tagging me in the fact that Alton Sterling's murderers were set free. And I'm like,
they
okay.
Went to jail to begin with, so.
Right. They never went to jail, but they're not going to be tried or charged for his murder. And I'm like, I can't, personally, it's upsetting, but I can't keep getting mad about it. Mm-hmm. And I suggest none of us keep getting mad about it without taking action. Because otherwise you're just mad. We're just venting, we're just posting on our timeline, oh, this is messed up, they're going to keep killing us. Yes, that's right. I hate to tell y'all, they, being the police department, the powers that be, are going to keep killing us. In fact, on some of these little things that I've been tagged in or I saw, on the comments, there's a lot of white people saying, oh, he shouldn't have resisted. Oh, you don't know what he did. But it's the same old justification. Yeah. So the reason I'm saying that is, overall, not all, but overall, white people have no sympathy for black life. They never have. You don't sympathize with something that you originally deemed as property and like chattel. You don't have a whole lot of value on that.
All that school shootings, those poor white people, we need to go march with them.
Well, yeah, I guess,
we need to go help
right,
them.
Because it's enough is enough and all this other nonsense. Right. But, like I said on Sunday, I was already over gun violence when black people were getting murdered disproportionately.
Mm-hmm. And still.
They said black men are 3 times likely to be a victim of police interaction. Sure. I want to say police brutality, because that's what it is in a lot of the cases, is police brutality and police murder. But those things are not ever going to stop happening. How many times have you guys seen an Asian get murdered with no justice? And as a matter of fact, listen to me or tell me the last time you saw in the news where an Asian man was gunned down in cold blood by the police. I mean, you see Hispanics, but not as much as you see blacks. When is it hell? We've seen videos of white men with guns and knives and they charging toward the police and they live to tell about it. Actually, I even saw one where a white guy ran his car toward the police and they didn't shoot him in cold blood. Or to me, that would have been justified.
Well, have you seen the movie Higher Learning?
I know. That's the one
you got to see that. Michael Rappaport's in it, right? Now, this guy snipes, I'm going to give you the movie, but at the end, he snipes the Tyra Banks. She ends up getting killed. He's sniping people off this college thing. And the cops see that he's the shooter. And instead of taking him down, the brother's like trying to get him. You know, they were roommates and they were fighting and stuff, right? They're beating the brother up. So they got a hold of him.
This good white man
No. And the white guy's the shooter, and they're letting him go. And they're like, wait. Oh, we know you did it.
That's what
it's
I'm
okay.
saying.
You know, don't worry about it. No, we don't have to do this. And at the end of the movie,
that's what white privilege affords you. It affords you to be able to do the worst things to people and have people sympathize and justify why you're doing it. You know, even with the bomber in Austin. You know, he was this and that. They didn't show us the true picture of what he looked like today. They showed us the picture of him when he was a good old kid. You know, a good old American white boy, clean cut, and he's got this Colgate smile and, you know, all this other stuff. And so, back to what I was saying is we're never going to see the end of police brutality or any brutality against black people until black people start waking up and practicing group economics. And ultimately, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because they just want to kumbaya, want to get along with people. And, you know, it's just the segregation thing was just not working for us. You know, we need to be...
No, we need to give it more time.
We need to separate.
And go where? And leave this good white man?
We need to separate and be amongst ourselves like the Asian has separated, like the Hispanic has separated, like the Arabs and everybody else has separated. Yeah, they live amongst everybody else, but they have separated. Except for when they go to work, you know, in our community, they set up the liquor store. They don't leave their community to rake in millions of black dollars every day, but that's about it. There's nothing, listen, black people, there's nothing wrong with separating. You can be around, I'm not saying we just go off to an island and never be around white people if that's your thing, but we're going to have to separate because this is going to continue to happen to us.
No. Where can we go where you can get a good meal from this good white man?
That ain't probably spitting your food.
Right, but where else can we go?
You can go ahead. Hey, listen, I said I'm going to make this a post. I don't eat chicken, y'all. I can make vegan fried chicken. Don't ask me how. It's a difficult process, but it's good in the end, okay? Black people, if you buy fried chicken from somebody who is not black more than you do somebody is black, your ass is mentally dead. You are mentally dead. Hell, we are the pioneers of good ass fried chicken. Why are you buying that from, you know, Guadalupe and them, or Ming Lee and them?
I really hate going to Popeye's Chicken or churches and you see nothing but. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying.
And you're telling the truth.
It bothers me that all you see working in there is and frying the chicken are Mexicans or another race.
Today is Tuesday, right?
Taco, yeah, it's the
special. What is it? It's buy two, get two for $1.50 or whatever it is.
The two-piece special.
You're going to see Negroes lined outside of the door, getting them 2 pieces of heart attack ass chicken in the first doggone place.
On the gristle.
They got a mammy as the spokeswoman for Popeyes, but like you said, they got Hispanics working the kitchen.
In California.
It's probably an Asian that owns the restaurant, and black people in there giving their money to get some chicken. Why? Why are you buying fried chicken from somebody else? That's group economics right there. Let's buy fried chicken from each other. Let's keep the money in our community.
No, I can't do that. I don't want to see you come up. I see you driving a nice car now.
I want you, the next time you're out and about, to go into, let's try to find an Asian restaurant that's operated by anybody else other than them, and I want you to take a picture of, if you see a bunch of Asians in there eating.
Right.
They're not gonna eat no Chinese food or Thai food or nothing like that from nobody else but their own. And you know what? I ain't mad at them. That's what they're supposed to do.
Well, when we go to lunch in our Thai restaurant, there's a lot of Asians that, and you know whatever their denomination is going over there, and
that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to eat with your people. Like I don't want to eat no casseroles out nowhere, anyway. And I'm not gonna force myself upon somebody who don't want me in their restaurant. I mean, come on.
Well, D, look, I would love to eat with my people, But unfortunately, you women are cooking nothing but top ramen now.
Listen, I ain't never cooked no top ramen.
I'm talking about you, but I'm talking about in general. Because when they get their little food stamp money and you see them at the Winco or whatever, what is it? They got 2 stacks of top ramen in their basket.
Well, that's
that
something
sodium.
that needs to change. But, again, going back to practicing group economics and the stopping or lessening the murders of our black men, when we start pooling our money together, start spending time together, then we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. The powers that be are going to say, okay, those black people got their stuff together. Their money ain't leaving their community 6 hours after they get it.
Yeah, 6 hours after.
Their money is staying in their community. They could give 2 shits if they about voting because they got their stuff working together. Yeah. They eating fried chicken from each other. They getting their hair from each other.
They got their own banks.
Right. They got their own banks. They got their own schools, which we should have. They got everything. They don't need us. If the Ku Klux Klan Grand Dragon is running for mayor, they don't care. They got their stuff together.
Right. And the funny thing is, when you have economic power, you get treated a lot different. And when I say this is this, there's a law, it's called a loitering law. And a lot of these young geniuses don't know this stuff. You have no business at malls and restaurants if you're not there to shop. So they can arrest you because you're loitering.
That is the truth. And it's especially going to apply to you if you're black.
Exactly.
Because we know when we were young, we would go to the mall sometimes with a couple bucks in our pockets.
But you got to be looking like you're shopping.
Yeah, but that's things that they did when we were young. Kids just, cruise the mall, not really trying to buy nothing, but just hanging out with friends. Mm-hmm. But like you said, those laws exist, and they mostly exist, not mostly, they primarily exist for black people. Back in the day of the Jim Crow era, they had the vagrancy laws. Because slavery is over, but we need these black people back on working, so we're going to put them in prison, and they have the convict leasing program, which says, okay, you're doing a stint in prison, but instead of doing that, we'll let old Jim Bob up the street, lease you out. And they said sometimes that treatment was worse than slavery. Right. Most of those convicts that were leased out either died or were severely maimed due to the treatment they got, due to that. But a lot of those people were picked up, like you said. I mean, they were just talking to, Buster on the corner, hey, how's it going? How was church Sunday? And then bam, they in a paddy wagon, getting a lot of time for just being there. 6 years for lawyers. Right. Yeah. And so this is not going to end. There is no magic no magic anywhere to stop the wholesale murder of black people. None. Gotcha. We got to do this ourselves. We have to stop waiting for people who never liked your black ass in the first place to like you. That bothers me. Please like me. Please. Please, Mr. Please let me come on in. 'Cause how? Don't be mean to me. You care more about a person who don't like you more than you do about a person who is like you. How does that work out? I mean, why are we always trying to get to appease other people who are like, Deuces. I wouldn't let you shine my shoes. So we got to get past that. Alton Sterling and people that will come after him, because unfortunately there will be many more come after him. And your Stephon Clark's are going to be many more until black people wake up and get it together and realize that nobody's coming to save us. So get your black ass off of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and stop whining about this stuff, and let's get together collectively. Okay, we got $1.3 trillion that we make every year in the black community, but we give 97% of that away to everybody else I just mentioned, including some of those racist ass police officers that's going to gun somebody down, brush it off their shoulders and say, I'm free. And I ain't getting charged for that. Right, and here's the funny thing. When it is found that some of these racial police officers that do this stupid crime and they sue the city, you're paying for something that you didn't do through your tax dollars. Exactly. But we're just... nobody is coming to save us. I don't know. We keep asking Jesus to save us. Mm-hmm. Maybe Jesus, for those of you who are into that, are asking you to save yourself. He does say faith without the works is dead. Mm-hmm. And so, God bless the child. God bless the child that's got his own. So, I mean, at some point in time, we're going to have to get up off of our knees, stop begging to Jesus to come save us and save ourselves. I'm sorry. To me, it's just like being in the middle of a lake or an ocean. And, oh my God, I'm drowning. Please, somebody come save me. And my black ass know how to swim. I'm not going to wait for you to throw me no life raft. Even if I don't know how to swim, I guarantee you in that moment, I'm a damn sure try to learn. So at some point in time, we got to stop. We are, yes, we are true victims of a lot of things that have taken place to black people.
Keep using that.
We're going to continue to be victims unless we save ourselves. I mean, again, it's like your child is choking. You can learn CPR, you know it, and you go run all over the neighborhood looking for somebody to save your child. Shit, you gonna have them on the back. You gonna try to get them from choking. So it's the same thing.
Right. Well, what was that Anaya Day in her situation?
Right.
You know, here this lady is on the radio, and you sent me the link to it.
Oh, yeah.
This woman's talking about all this, and the lady's like, wait a minute, the child's not breathing, and she's talking like...
Yeah, well, she wasn't interested in saving
Right,
the child. She was interested in saving herself and her man from, murdering her child. But yeah, I mean, we just listen. I cannot repeat this enough. Group economics, as Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about, his third thing on his 5 things that black people need to do is get control, some control at least, of the police department and the courts. When you have money, you have influence, and you have power, and the police department and the court system are more than likely to say, those black people, they're a force to be reckoned with. We're not going to keep letting these murdering ass police officers off because we know that they have some power.
But D, you don't understand. With as far crazy and mental illness within our community with the gangster lifestyle and the hoochie mamas and all that other stuff, there is no possible way we can police ourselves and, do these things. I mean, if we don't have control now on our own, please explain how do you have faith in the system doing that?
Well, because I really feel like this. I think that the hoochie mamas and the ratchets and the thugs and stuff, that's the image that they, being the powers that be, the media, that's the images they want everybody else to think that's all black people are about. But I know upstanding people. You're upstanding. My man's upstanding. My dad's upstanding. My brother's upstanding when he ain't talking about giving white people a hug today.
Professor Smitty.
Yeah, my little brother who's a professor, he's upstanding. So we all, your brother's upstanding. We know many upstanding people.
But that's not cool.
But it is cool. But the media tells us it's not cool.
Right.
We want y'all to see Young Thug and Pretty Thug, Bone Ricky, and all these other people parading around in dresses and stuff. And then we want y'all to see the Atlanta Housewives of these grown-ass women fighting. There's this thing, I don't even watch Atlanta Housewives, but I've been seeing this narrative about, what's her name, Sheree. She's got this man that's in prison that she's waiting to come home, and somebody sent it to me. So I guess somebody sent this to me on my inbox. Sheree's man got denied early release.
Wow.
But yet,
they know about that.
Those are the images they want us to think that you hear these women who are dressed glamorously and they got all this makeup and hair and these jewels and, they're always talking about this event and that event. But this woman... They
have a platform to say something positive, but they're doing negative.
She's at least 50.
Yeah. She's
roughly.
She's about 52.
Roughly about our age, give or take. But she's projecting to the world, as a black woman, I'm waiting on my man to get... That's a young girl's game. That's some young women do it. Ray went to jail. I'm going to ride this out for him. Girl, you 50-some years old, and you talking about you waiting for your man who's in prison to get out?
What about, what's her name? Her husband was in there.
Phaedra. Yeah, so those are the images.
Lawyer. This one was a lawyer.
These are the... Right.
And she's dealing with the thug.
These are the images that they want out about black people. So we know plenty of reputable, upstanding, hardworking, awake people who would be but are an asset to our community. But we just got to stop believing the hype. We got to stop spreading that narrative that, I have a guy come to my inbox every once in a while to want to tell me how no good black women are. Oh, that's why we dating other races.
Okay, look, that was me.
No, it wasn't you. But I'm like, listen, brother, you're not ever going to change my mind. Do black women got issues? Yes, we do.
Yeah, like everybody else.
But that don't mean we ain't no good. If a black woman ain't for you, then why you see your ass over there to an Asian or white woman, somebody you feel like it?
Your sister is for me. I just
keep on believing, brother.
That's right.
Keep on believing.
That's right.
So, I mean... We just got we have to stop with that. We have to start promoting the positive images that go forth or that are going on in our community every day.
Everybody always asks me, they go, how could you do a show with Dee? I mean, she is so militant, whatever.
How could you not?
Obviously that too. Like, I'm just trying to get in with the family so I can get with the sisters. So
Well,
you know. But I always tell people, I was saying, because everybody says I say something negative, now I bring a positive sister in. Y'all have a problem with that?
Well, I'm going to tell you this too. Somebody told me the other day that one of their friends' wives watched my show at the beauty salon, and as she was doing my hair, or she was getting her hair done, the hairdresser was watching it too, and says, "Well, if I don't like white people, what am I doing with a white man?" And I said,
"What does that mean?"
I guess because Al looks like he's white, which
well,
he is very.
He's half
right.
mixed.
But I'm like, where on earth did you hear me say I didn't like white people?
Yeah.
Where,
and that's a good
one
point.
time that I said I didn't
too.
like white people, and I said to this person. I said the
wow.
problem is, and this was a black woman who said this. The problem is when people speak truth to power, the truth is not always pretty.
It's not always pretty.
Then I have a problem, or you have a problem with white people. Just like black people get accused of doing stuff, white people have done some heinous stuff to people and are continuing to do
dropping
stuff.
atomic bombs when you did not need to.
Right, or how about putting people on a slave ship? To bring us over here to do the most
genocide in the 90s that was going on, and you totally ignored it.
Right. I mean, even in South Africa, they're mad because the black people want them to get on out of there. But we didn't do it, but you benefited from your people who did it. And so,
I can hear you. You hate white people.
I tell people all the time. I got out of all 10 of my parents' grandkids, all of them except for my daughter is mixed with something other than just being totally black. A good amount of them are mixed with with white. So, and in addition, my man is part white. So,
but he's all brother.
Right, but I'm not going to not speak the truth. It's the truth. If I'm lying, then point out where I'm lying.
Right.
And also, and this is what a lot of black people need to understand, because I don't expect for white people to understand, is that when I'm speaking about black empowerment, that is not a dig at white people.
Right. Which one? You're trying to educate us.
Right. That's not, because I know people who, they call white people some of the most vile things, and that's their platform to just destroy white people just on words. I don't need to do that, because to me it's a waste of time. We need to talk about black people and uplifting black people. White people do it all the time.
Didn't you go to a white Christian college?
I did. I went to
That's where you got it from, the damn liberals.
But you know what though? I did go. I got both my degrees from a white Christian college. They're not liberal. Because as you know, the college that I went to, they had two women. They have they had two women at the one of the LA Lakers game when they were in preseason. Yeah. Went and splashed their drinks on two black men because they wouldn't. No, not players, but the people in stand because they wouldn't stand for the national anthem. And CBU stayed quiet about that. So I'm not proud of that school, but that's another thing too. We need to get out of. I can only learn from this place. I need to only learn from that. No, we need to learn from everybody, because I need to know how you think.
There you go.
I need to know how you think. So, I'm gonna be pro-black. I'm gonna speak about being black unapologetically. Whether you black or you white, you don't like it. That's not gonna stop me from speaking the truth. But I'm like, when did I ever say that I hated white people?
Exactly.
To me, that's too much energy to hate anybody.
And there's too many of the, we're behind enemy lines, dog.
Right. I know people find it hard to believe, but I got white friends. But they know how I am.
Me too, exactly.
They know how I am, and I know how they are.
And my biggest thing is respect my opinion. We're not always right.
But we ain't always wrong. Right. So... But no, I'm gonna be unapologetically black, and so we're gonna transition. So again, if we want to stop seeing Alton Sterlings and your Stephon Clarks and your Trayvon Martins and Tamir Rices and Sandra Blands, if we want to stop seeing those people, we are going to have to take the matter into our own hands and do for self. Okay. So now I'm gonna transition over to Roxanne.
I want to be your man.
Right. That movie
Now,
debuted.
And also remember that before you get into
No,
this.
go ahead.
I'm a hip hop connoisseur.
Yes, I kind of am a little bit.
There was two Roxannes. There was
Yes.
one, the Puerto Rican one, which
Right.
was the one that sang on the UTFO
Right.
great hit. But there was a pre-battle rapping Roxanne Shante
Right.
that came out of New York, and the girl was on fire.
She was bad. She was
14 years
untouchable.
old, and she was in the game. And
Untouchable.
she, not to say she disappeared. I haven't seen the movie or anything like that yet, or the biopic. But I do happen to have kept up there because I used to wonder whatever happened to Roxanne
Right.
Shante. In her contract, since she was a minor, I don't know who her handler, her agent, whatever, put in there that the record company has to pay for her education. So if she got stolen from her royalties, which a lot of artists do,
Yes, she did.
you cannot take an education away from somebody. And she socked it to him like I did the military, which kind of inspired me if you didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I socked it to the military like she socked it to the record companies, and she stayed in school until she got her doctorate.
I know that's right. Is there
socked it
anything
to
else
him.
I could get other than
Right,
that?
exactly. And that's what I did in the military. When people say I have all these degrees, that's exactly why.
Right.
I socked it to them.
Yeah, I mean, she from what I know of her too, and like, and you know, watching the biopic or whatever, she's a smart girl.
Smart girl.
She's
Very smart.
and she was very streetwise, which is
You know,
how
a
she
teen
was-
mom, but you know.
Yeah, but which is how I think she was able to be such a good battle rapper and stuff. She
Right.
was out there in the streets. You know,
And-
a lot of people nowadays they
Right.
don't have no street cred.
They don't have no street cred.
Right.
And here's another thing. She knew what she wanted to be and where she wanted to go.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being from the ghetto. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
where you
And when we
finish.
were coming up, it was about getting out of the ghetto,
Right.
not staying in.
Right. Well, speaking of which, and I hope that I'm not spoiling it, any of this for you. So I did watch the movie when it came out on Friday.
I didn't need to watch it because I lived it. But go ahead.
I liked the movie. It was a really interesting, good movie, but it wasn't anything we hadn't seen before.
Well, real quick, let's take a look at a clip.
Okay. All right. So as you see there, it's very it's a lot going on,
Let's go.
to say the least. Okay. Now, my takeaway from it, I don't want to give you guys the whole thing, but Shantae's mom was a piece of work. I won't say
Work
that
in
she was
progress.
a bad lady. I think her intentions were good. Because
Like all parents.
yeah, per the movie, she would take her to go do these battles and stuff, and she
Well-
was her daughter's hype person. Like, shoot, ain't nobody gonna beat
Well,
her.
you know, her
type
mom
thing.
reminded me of you and Indiana.
Not quite.
Right, okay.
So her mom wasn't an all bad person. Now, this one particular scene, this is a spoiler alert for you
Spoiler
who
alert.
haven't seen it. This particular scene, her mom does have a boyfriend. For the most part, he seems like he's a good dude, but I predicted what was going to happen. Seemed like he was a good dude.
You don't got to run the black man down, but go ahead.
I'm not gonna run a black man.
No,
down.
I'm just saying these movies,
Yeah,
that's
no.
always a Tyler Perry.
But
movie.
if this was her true story,
Sure.
then it was a true story. So
and it does happen. Sometimes you have some bad dudes.
the boyfriend wasn't her and her three sisters' father.
Mhm.
He was a mom's, boyfriend or whatever the case was. And so they were talking about moving to a house, moving out of the ghetto to a nice house, and they were all talking about they were moving. And so she's in the bed with her man, but she being the mother in the bed with the man, and he was telling her, I don't think we're gonna be able to move. Just the time's not right and all that kind of stuff. And she goes,
Rent's high.
I got a surprise. I got something I've been wanting to tell you.
Oh, Lord.
So she goes and reaches into the cabinet or whatever, the drawer or whatever, hands this man a fat envelope. In this envelope is $20,000.
Cash.
Cash. She says, I've been saving, for a down payment for the house, so that's not a problem. We can move, let's go find a house, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, oh my God, he's ecstatic about it.
Baby, I love you. Good.
Moving day comes. They've got all the boxes packed.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to go. I can't remember the guy's name in the movie, but she's calling. He doesn't pick up. They're waiting. The moving truck. He's supposed to be bringing the moving truck. Needless to say,
Took the money and left.
ain't heard from that man since.
And that's tragic. But here's a story that I heard from my own mother, and I'm sure that's why I tell people: don't look at Donovan Sadiq and think that he was this and he's that. Fuck all that. Okay, I'm not from the ghetto, but I'm gonna give you a true story.
But he do some ghetto stuff.
Yeah, I can do some ghetto stuff. Yeah. Remember, I love ratchets. I know what I like. True story. My mother told me this. When my dad was deployed in Vietnam, Okay, she's just a housewife. My mom would like sew and stuff and save all this money up and stuff like that. My dad would send money back to support us and stuff because in the military you got to support your family. You know, and back then $1 was worth way more than what $1 is worth now. Okay, so my mom ended up saving like over $2,000, right?
Which is a lot back then. Yeah.
Dad comes back from Vietnam, you know. And you know they get back together. Oh, girl, you know. Of course, you got to take care of business first.
Right.
Long story short, my mom goes almost the same thing. That's why I was like, wow, that's deep. But my dad didn't run. Okay, he takes the $2,000. Right, my mom's thinking, okay, we got the $2,000. You know, we can go put this on a house because remember we're still in base housing and stuff like this. My dad takes that from what she told me. She takes that. He go buys a car. You know, and just things with it that. It's
like,
hold up. It's like, just think about it. If I'm in Vietnam sending you the money, that money's gone as far as I'm concerned. So take care of the kids.
Right.
My mom was thrifty and doing this, cleaning houses and doing things like that.
She's doing what she was supposed to be doing
and
as a housewife.
money.
Right.
And, you know, he gets it. And the minute the nigga got it, my father, he goes and buys himself a car.
Dive in the
Yes, exactly. He's appreciative he has a woman that does that. But what immediately did he do?
He got the wheels with the spokes on them.
Got him a car that we really didn't need when he could have used that for something more substantial. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
No, I mean,
it could happen to
it happens, you know, but again, that was your daddy, her husband.
Right.
That's a different story.
Right, but I'm just saying the mentality of men. That's where I was going with that. Men.
Okay, but this woman, how much time we got?
I
want to make sure.
We got plenty of time.
This was her boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Her boyfriend,
she
handed this
$20,000.
20 codes, stacks. Okay? Here I want, you know. And I'm like, I predicted it, y'all. I knew that was going to happen.
That's why we don't watch movies.
I knew he was going to get ghosts with the money.
From that point, didn't you get Al like 5 stacks?
Yeah, but he brought back 20.
Good.
So from that point, she's angry at the world. Her demeanor changes with the girls. Right. Just men ain't nothing. She's having some brown liquor drink with a homegirl. And, you know, I saved all this money and he did this.
Who played the mom in the movie?
Nia Long. Which I think if they was gonna give an Oscar for Netflix
a Golden Globe or Emmy,
that child earned that role. She played the mess out of that role.
She played like the better looking precious mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right.
So from that point, like I said, she treats the girls kind of bad and talking to them all crazy and at one particular scene, spoiler alert, the girls they're waiting for their dad on the bench in the hood. Waiting for hours and hours and hours, and the dude don't pick them up.
Typical.
So finally she goes out to him, and she says, let this be a lesson to y'all girls. And I'm paraphrasing. Men, this is your first lesson that men ain't shit.
Shouldn't the lesson be wary of who you pick to have children with? Shouldn't that be the lesson?
Well, because
if you're telling them that, she picked him.
Well, yeah, but it's like, okay, listen, I would be mad too if somebody ran away with $20,000 of my dollars. Right. I would be mad, but at the same time, to me, that was the most poignant part of the movie. Here you are, you're upset, and you should be upset. Yes. But don't be upset with your kids. That was your man. That wasn't officially decided to make him more than he was to you by giving him $20,000. But anybody worth their weight as a woman would know, no, man. First of all, you need to put a ring on it. You need to be a father to these girls and a husband to me, and you need to bring the 20 stacks.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. That was the money Roxanne Shante made.
I think some of it was, but her mom worked and scrubbed floors, and that's what she said.
Yeah, because you do have parents that will take, like Gary Coleman's parents, that will take the kids' money. And
no, but on the other side of that, Shante, she was out there winning a lot of money and helping her mom take care of the girls, and she would do that. It got into some trouble because the mom ended up being, I won't say she was worthless, but she just had let go and just gave up. So Shante kind of stepped into the mama role of taking care of the kids and, did some things she wasn't supposed to do to do that. But, I just thought.
Sounds like a good movie.
I was mad. I mean, maybe that was a true story. That the mama didn't take ownership over what she caused. She caused them to stay in the hood longer than they were supposed to.
And again, now that was like 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
What, 85?
Yeah, so about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, you still have women today that are bringing their boyfriends in the home with their teenage girls.
Much to a man.
Yes, over their own children. You don't bring men in with your, especially if you have daughters. Now we have to worry about our sons too.
Right. But I mean, just the fact that she gave him that much, I don't want to say
Trust.
responsibility, but
Trust.
yes, that's a good word. She gave him that much trust, and this is your boyfriend.
Right.
You trusted this man, and I guess maybe she had her own reason to do it, but you trusted this man with your livelihood, essentially. She said, cried about how many floors she scrubbed and
Oh my
how
God.
many white people homes she cleaned and stuff.
Because in '85, the dollar was worth more than it is
That
now.
woman, that $20,000 in '85. I mean, that was a pretty good down payment.
Yes.
You know, you could have changed the game for your girls, but you put it all in the hands of a man who wasn't their daddy, wasn't your husband, who obviously was having some financial struggle on his own because he ran off with your money.
And I get tired of that. These women, okay, and I'm not saying I'm all that. Okay, these women always want to save these dudes that can't be saved.
She wanted to me, when I saw that scene, she wanted to uplift him and make him feel more than he was. Don't worry, baby, I got you.
Nobody
here.
can do that but you.
Right, that's what I said. He should have been coming saying, you know what, while your $20,000 is cute, let me as a man, especially since I ain't your husband,
right,
let me do all this the right way. Let me be the savior. I don't want you to save me.
D, I've known you for 30 years. What do I always say in a situation like that? Even when a woman tries to offer, no. I'm always like, no.
Right.
No. You know, I do this. I do that.
Well, you know, the men like you
are
a dying breed, and I would say my Al is that way as well. You know, men like you guys are a dying breed. You do have a lot of these men nowadays who will sit up under a woman and allow her to take care of him, to do everything for him. And essentially, I'm just going to say that some men will be mad, but rob you of your manhood. Mm-hmm. You might as well have breastfeed, let her breastfeed you too and change your diaper.
That's exactly what you're
doing.
doing.
If you're allowing a woman to do those things.
I don't care what the situation is. I am going to be a man regardless.
Right.
I'm not going to let you rob me.
But that's what she did, though. She thought that she was saving him when he should have been saving her. Mm-hmm. And I mean, damn, he didn't even say, look, bitch, I'm gonna leave you $100 before I take off. He took the whole amount.
Wait, and before I go, I need relations before I go.
No, he didn't even leave her a dear John. Had this woman and her babies waiting for him to come with the moving truck, and never even showed up.
But isn't that the problem in our community? Our young girls, and like I said,
the problem is we have to stop teaching our daughters low self-esteem for one thing. And stop. And Dr. Umar actually did a series on this Saturday, and he did say that, and I agree with him on this. A lot of people would disagree with this, but he said that women with low self-esteem should not be allowed to procreate.
Yes,
they should not be allowed to procreate, and he's 135,000% right, because what are they going to do? They're going to teach their kids low self-esteem. They're going to teach from a position of low self-esteem.
Yeah,
right. And so here she was trying to save this man when in her mind as a woman, she should have been like, no, he should be saving me.
Right.
He should be saving me as his job as a man. But we teach our daughters that. We teach them that, you know what? We should be, as they say, our man's backbone, or, support him.
The power behind
but we should not absolve him of his responsibility as a man. That's not our job to do. It's not even sexy to do that, because a man, even right now, if he's not illustrating that he is a man, innately he knows that he is one. And eventually he gonna go get with a woman who's gonna be like, you cute and everything, but you need to be producing around here.
And that's what happened with my girlfriend, that station over here, that I give all credit to. Because everybody always says, why do you got this, I still got an old picture I keep up in the house, right? You know, and most people don't do, they don't put your old girlfriend up, whatever the deal is.
Right.
But the thing is, though.
But you got one.
Yeah. Well,
it's a shrine.
No, it wasn't a shrine, but she's in that little clip, and everybody's like, well, who's that? And I said, that the reason why I do that is because this was the woman that told me exactly what you just said, and made me go get my education. Because I was cute back in the day, but she said that ain't enough.
She said, I like your Jerry curl and
all. Well, I didn't have a Jerry curl. No, I was in the military, but you know what I mean? I was going to the club,
yeah.
Where Dee has she's in the Hall of Fame.
No.
But you know what I mean? But she was the one that set my thing, that said, you need to get, you're smart, you need to get your education, you need to do that.
So that song, Ready for the World, Let Me Love You Down, that was about you guys?
That was about us, right.
I could do a man your age can do.
Exactly. Absolutely. Oh, Sheila, that was the whole thing. No, but no, and the reason I do that is because I will never forget what this woman did for me.
And that's what a good woman does. She lets you know, look, baby, you got it going on. You can drop it like it's hot when we need. Oh, I got them swinging from the chandeliers.
That's all.
However, I need you to do all the other stuff that men do.
Exactly.
Because if you truly doing the stuff that a man does, that's when you get me swinging from the chandeliers.
Yeah, and that was the funny thing.
And
that was the funny thing when I started going to school and stuff.
She was like, rah!
That's when it got better. You know what I mean?
Right. Because a woman work her weight is like,
she put demands on.
That's what turns me on. The fact that I know that you got me. Yeah, I might be able to have myself, but the fact that you got me, it ain't gonna be, well, you know, listen. I know these lights finna get cut off. You know, I don't know what to do.
And then the next month, the lights are getting cut off again. And you know, there's the same old story.
My dad always says, a woman don't need, and the same thing for a man. A woman don't need a man to help her do nothing. What you got somebody sitting around the house looking cute?
Right.
So stop giving these men. Stop trying to save these men. I'm not saying leave them to drown.
And it's not just these grown men. That's the same thing that goes towards your children.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't just have this nigga sitting out playing PlayStation while you're going to the NAACP meeting to talk about what's going on in our community.
Or he playing PlayStation and you dragging the cans out to the curb on trash.
Or it's Sunday. Oh, Mom, I'm watching football while you're out there cutting the grass. That's unacceptable.
Right. I totally agree with you. We need to stop being a savior to men who are supposed to be saving us.
Yeah,
right. And that ain't the man for you.
Yeah,
that you got to hand a man 20 stacks. Because you are and your girls are moving out the hood. He told you. The cold part is he told her, I ain't gonna be able to. It don't look like we're getting that house no time soon. So basically, he was saying, I am not gonna be the man for the job.
Right. I ain't shit.
And she says, no, don't worry, baby. I'm gonna make you the man for the job because I'm gonna give you the money that you went and goes on your knees, scrubbing floors and doing all this other stuff so you and your girls can be
he's probably
better.
going to the hanging out with his boys, still going to the clubs.
But this is the other part that led me to wonder. Well, what did he go take this $20,000 to do? I guarantee you he took that $20,000 to go take care of another woman.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee you he did.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you he set another woman up nicely with the money he stole from this fool who thought she was doing something admirable by saving this man.
Remember that meme I sent you with Wendy Williams?
Which one?
Yeah. Well, but the one where, like, a man is, going to take money and he's going to take, he's taking her money. To set up the side chick down the street. I
don't know all of Wendy Williams' situation, but for what I've read on my news
that's
feed,
a prime example.
He is getting that thing around with another woman, and come on, Wendy is the talent. She's making the money.
Of
course, she's taking care of this other woman with off the backs of her talent. So I mean, but again, that's what happens when you try to save men. And I'm not saying because there's plenty of instances where women make more money than a man, but she's not absolving him completely of his manhood. And so really just like in closing, that was the thing that I took away from that. That's a teachable moment for us to stop teaching our daughters, you know what, this man, he's down on his luck, but I'm going to make sure he has everything he has. I'm going to give him $20,000 to go buy us a house.
Because you're doing it.
But couldn't you have went and bought your own house and had the money?
If you're doing all that, you don't need that man. You don't need men.
I mean, I don't care how pipe the good is, my Lord. I ain't handing you, especially
you could rent the pipe.
You ain't my husband.
Right.
And you just profess to me that you ain't shit because we ain't moving out the hood because I ain't got it. But I'm going to hand you $20,000?
Right. Like me, I live in Edgemont, which is the oldest part of the neighborhood of the city that I live in. I bring your sister, baby. You want to go on these vacations? We can leave if we want to, but it's economically smart to stay where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I
got guns in here. Don't worry about it. You'll be safe.
Well, that's all I have to say about that as far as that.
So go see the movie.
Go see the movie, but women, we got to stop saving these no good dudes.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about the good dudes. I ain't talking about your husband. I'm talking about the no good dudes who are clearly showing you every day they ain't about
clearly
shit.
And distinctly tell your daughters, a man that is in and out of jail several times is not going to change his ways.
And stop telling your daughters that all men ain't shit when you are the one that's making bad decisions. No, you ain't shit. And you have poor decision-making skills because you keep inviting men like that into your life. And when they show you who they are 100 times, then you want to finally say, all men ain't shit. No, you ain't shit.
Right. Exactly.
I hate to end on that note. But
but that's a poignant thing to say. We need to get our girls some self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Love yourself first. I don't care what the thing is.
They need to see you loving yourself.
Right. Love yourself first.
Right.
If you can't love yourself, how you going to love somebody else?
You ain't. And they ain't gonna love you back. They're gonna take your 20 stacks.
Exactly. Hey, you guys, check out Demetra K. Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She is talking the real. Those numbers are going up. The girl is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That's what they tell me.
And it's an international thing as she gets in debates, and she will talk to you live as we go back and forth.
I'll speak back to you for it.
And also check her out on Walter Lee Culture Show.
No, I ain't gonna be doing that show no more. Okay, I'm behind the scenes.
Well, she's gonna be directing, so we'll be talking about that. And also check out the Donovan Sadiq Show. We got a lot more information coming out. Check us out next week. DK on the left. I am on the right. We're going to see you guys again next week. Thanks for joining us.
Deuces.